I am out with all 5 cats. I think they realize that a storm is brewing and this is their one shot. Because it's weird to have all of them. I don't know if you can see them all, but they're there. So there's this funky virus going around the world. And it's strange. I mean, okay, so here's how it affected me. Affected me that I heard the speech last night and went, holy crap, all the grocery stores are going to be insane. I don't want to deal with that because of the avoidance. So I ran out at 11 o'clock last night and made sure I have a month's worth of supplies, which is ridiculous. It's not the crazy, outrageous amounts of stuff. I mean, there was no toilet paper. I can't understand that. This is a viral, nose respiratory coughing type disease. Toilet paper has nothing to do with it. Tissues I could see. They had plenty of tissues. They were also running out of kitty litter, which was the reason I was there. So I guess I'm glad that I went when I did. And I guess people's priorities are sort of on track because, got to watch out for the cats too, right? But that's basically what I did. I bought 50 pounds of kitty litter and 22 pounds of cat food, and then like extra flour because I can make bread, stuff like that. It wasn't like a lot of stuff, but it's enough stuff that it'll be boring, but I wouldn't have to leave my house for a month if I didn't have to. I definitely am solid for a month. And again, it's not that I think I'm going to get sick. It's that I don't want to deal with the people and the crowds. And this is a problem. I went yesterday to visit my father, and he kept trying to tell me that they weren't going to let me out. I mean, he's Alzheimer's, so he doesn't really make a lot of sense sometimes. But I mean, he legit was trying to tell me something, which was they had initially cut the hours for visiting to just a few hours in the middle of the day, which I didn't know about, and I just happened to get there at the right time. But also for good timing, as of today, the entire facility is in lockdown and nobody can visit it. I mean, this is good. It's elderly people. They don't want them to get sick. I usually go and see him pretty regularly, like every other week. Most of this winter, basically anytime I had any sort of cold type thing going on, I was not there. And also the 2 weeks after any of my trips, because I technically shouldn't have gone yesterday because of just going to Boston, but I also, it was my birthday and blah, blah, blah. I feel obligated. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know where the cats went. In my family, it's not about, yay, it's your birthday, celebrate you. It's, we gave birth to you, celebrate us. That's the way my parents have been. But I am kind of glad that I went to see him before the lockdown. So that's real. Yeah. And the cats are set because they've got enough food. As long as water's running, I'll be fine. I'll be nervous about money like everybody else now. Really can't do any of the things I had planned to do. This is kind of a problem. Because my coping technique has been travel. And I can't travel. And I kept saying, oh, this is a problem. It's not sustainable. I was right. I thought I'd run out of money. I didn't think that there was going to be like worldwide travel bans. and putting people, under lockdown. I didn't predict that. But I that's a problem. Actually, I saw a meme that, which normally, who gives a crap, but I thought it was a good one. It was George Orwell said, "See, what I tell you," and Margaret Atwood said, "Hold my beer," and then Stephen King said, "That's cute." It's actually crossed my mind, because I'm a sick bastard, to reread The Stand. It's not that bad yet. It's not going to be that bad. But this panic that people are going through, that is being whipped up by the government, which I'm sorry if you don't want to ever hear that word out of my mouth. And I'm sorry if you have a really different opinion from me. But as a person who, in the last few months, has been in London, Paris, Bordeaux, Barcelona, Rome, Marrakesh, and Boston quite a few times, 8 times, and I didn't catch it, and I was right there. I mean, when I went to Africa, that was right after it had shown up the first time in London and Bordeaux. It was right there in the airports that I was flying in and out of, and not a problem. So I'm not panicked about the disease. I'm not panicked about getting the disease. It's, one of the things that I saw was there's an absolute spike, no other way of putting it, they've got the numbers in the documents that prove that domestic violence is getting worse. My son is in a place that he there's a good chance he could catch it. If, high incidence. And there's also a decent chance that he's not going to be there, that they're going to shut the place down. Because they've shut down his college dorm, kicked everybody out and said, we're going to do online classes. That's just what they're doing. They're shutting everything down. So, that's an issue. I mean, there's a part of me that's saying I should bring the kid home. I saw him today, and he did not lay hands on me. He's getting better about it. But he is still like a rageaholic. And he still is absolutely demanding that I follow all of his dictations. And that doesn't work for me. And I'm guilty about it. On the one hand, on the other hand, I'm like, kid, get a freaking grip, You can't be like that. You can't. I understand that it's great fun to attack me, but you can't attack me and live in my house. So he can't come home, and he won't come home. I mean, unless there's truly no other place for him to be. He was demanding today. He's like, I'm going to come home tonight, and I'm going to stay one night and go back. And I'm like, no, you're not. And if he did show up, I would have him removed, and it's disgusting, but it is true. I just can't have that. I cannot have that. The thing that he was like his biggest strike against him was the separation, because now it's really clear to me how he's treating me. And I am not going to accept that anymore. I made a point of not accepting him witnessing violence against me, which meant for how long was it? Years and years and years I didn't have anything to do with my father because he tried to attack me. Well, he did attack me while my son was there, and my son saw it, and that's it. Boom. Another person, when he was young, saw me get shoved one time, and that was it. Never again. His great-grandmother, my grandmother, made some crack about me being unwed. One time. And she had Alzheimer's, and I didn't care. It was like early Alzheimer's. This is before she had her diagnosis. Once. That was it. That was the last time either of us saw her. And he didn't go to the funeral, I did. This is the line drawn in the sand. I mean, there is one good thing about having a kid, which is, they cut down that tree. I don't know, maybe that's always been cut down. Anyway, that, by the way, is the patch of woods where the ghost is, who I haven't heard from. Maybe it's scared of the virus. Anyway, although they were doing legit archaeological, digs, pretty close to here, like a real deal thing, and they were pulling stuff out of the ground. So maybe they found whatever the thing is that's attached the ghost. Or maybe it's a bunch of raccoons that whoever shot my cat shot the raccoons. I don't know, whatever, I haven't heard it for a while. Very morbid, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's like a real issue, What do I do about my kid? I hear the cats. I hear the cats. I need to go back, because especially, there's Pops. Perry on 3 legs, he's going to be trying to catch up to me. Can you see him running? Probably can't see a thing. A little black dot against other black smudges. It's probably Pops, the big guy. He's one hollering. So, yeah, there's that issue. Oh, here comes a car. And yes, we still do have snow. Not much, but wherever it's plowed and then, smashed into big hunks of ice, it's hanging around. So, yeah. So the other thing about avoidant personality disorder, besides this stress of managing your life, and of, I should go see him, the cat, and financial stress is going to be like an issue for people. Yeah, that's my boy puppy. For being such a big guy who really is resistant to losing weight, he does like to take these walks. Don't you? Can't see him. Hey, Pop. Let me see if I can get the... Maybe. Let me get the... There he is. Hey, Pop. And again, I don't put the light on because I don't really want to be noticed. I've been stopped by cops out here. Nosy. I mean, I suppose that's good. Come on, cat. I came back down here. Now you're going to, stay up there? Oh, he'll come. But the big thing is the isolation. Up here comes another one. It's probably Perry. Which you wouldn't think would be a problem for people with avoidant personality disorder. But I think it's actually worse. Because there's so few people in an avoidance life. And they need people. That's what it comes down to. or cats. Come on, cat. Oh, there they are. They're all over the place. There's one that's black. Actually, I don't think that's mine. I think that's the one that likes me for some reason that I do not understand. That also climbs all the trees. Could be mine. I mean, people aren't going to be talking about that. Yeah, that's definitely not my cat. Too big, but very sweet. Another one's down there. Oh, that is definitely Perry. I can see from his gate. And here comes Poppy. Can you see him? So, about the isolation that's going to happen with people that have avoidant personality disorder and that really want relationships but can't have them already. Now that you really can't have them, what to do about that? I don't know. Is that awful? I don't know. I think it's going to be an issue, and I think that people should be aware of it and not blindsided by it, because there's sort of like this idea that's kind of, I think, coming out of the title avoidant personality disorder, that people would think that being like a full hermit would be the best deal for somebody with avoidant personality disorder, and to not have any people in their life at all. I tried that. I actually tried that. I tried very much shutting people out of my life, and it made things so much worse. It made things completely impossible. Because then, come on, kitties, it's okay. Because then you don't have any connection with anybody at all, but you just have super stressful people stressing you out. And that's the only people that you got in your life are the ones that are going to stress you out the worst. This little black cat wants some attention. One that's not mine. You stuck with doctors, and I mean, like, being hospitalized for this disease would be just hell on earth. If I was hospitalized for this disease, I wish I was so sick that I had no, cognitive sense of what was happening. And that's terrible. I'm like, okay, if I get it, I want to get really, really sick. But me and long-term hospitalization does not work. Plus, what was I do with the cats? I guess at that point my kid would come home. And freak out because, there's not junk food in the house. There's food you actually have to make and cook. Oh my God. Kill me now. There's vegetables. Oh my God. Come on, cats. Oh, do you see this? Probably not. The one is hiding behind the snowbank. She's going to jump out. There she goes. Brat cats. They got spring fever. That's why they're all out. I don't know where Perry went. He went up there somewhere. But, that's an issue. That's really an issue. And I think that the best thing that having the diagnosis does is it gives you a heads up to what's going to happen. It doesn't guarantee this is how you're going to behave in all cases. What it does is it says this might happen, and it's going to not be the normal, accepted, expected, behavior. And so, for that reason, don't be too surprised or too alarmed. Well, if, it really hits you. If you have to be under quarantine, or if people who are under quarantine, or if you have to start working from home and the very few people that you're interacting with at all, that's Percy. That's my boy. Again, I can tell from how they run. I don't know where Perry is. He's off playing with somebody. Anyway, yeah, it might be really bad. And give yourself a break if it's really bad. And know that this, no matter what happens, it's temporary. I mean, let's say it's a worst case scenario and like 1/10 of the population dies. Okay, 1/10 of the population dies. It's not going to keep going. You know, it could be like a really bad few months. And then people aren't going to forget you, unfortunately. Sometimes I wish people did forget me. You see these cats? No, they're way down there. They're having standoff. They're definitely having spring fever. They better get themselves back home before the rain starts. Or else they'll just be, well, oh well. Yeah. Then I also had fun with my therapy this week. First of all, I'm like, you could have given me a little bit of a, breathing room. You could have given me a little bit of a break, considering what I've just gone through, and that I'm still feeling like, God, the phrase that comes to my head is hungover, with the idea that I had a big, huge thing that I needed to do and I didn't do it. That's sort of continuing to go on. Like, I was going to make chili, and I've said I'm going to make chili for like 2 days, and I still haven't made it. Again, because then, what the heck? Oh, it's Perry. No, it isn't. It's Percy. I can't see them because of the way the light's hitting on them. I'm like, what the heck? Is that even a cat? I thought it was just but Percy's very good at being stealthy. Anyway, it's sort of resonating that I'm also not doing other things on my list. It's like a plug from a dike, and it's just like bursting out all these things that I'm supposed to do and I'm not doing them. Although my therapist told me I was the only person who put that pressure on myself, the only person that like dictated to myself that I need to do this. Okay, yeah, I didn't make chili. I can make it tomorrow. I'm not really interested in chopping all the onions. Perfectly frank. I'm like, they have like these onion glasses they're like goggles that go over your eyes so you don't cry. Maybe I need to invest in them. Here comes a car, and how many cats? I see no cats in the street. That's good. Okay. Anyway, so, yeah. I'm supposed to come up with, like, a grand scheme of what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. Now that I've made it past that, and I'm like, oh my God, dude. Because, again, I can't travel right now. And, ooh, there's some weird haze over there. I don't think you can see it. It's like lit up fog or something. I don't know where these cats are. Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's better than him saying, yeah, you need to, like, find, start dating somebody. I'm like, oh my God. Jesus. You hate me, don't you, man? That could have been worse. But I'm supposed to do that. I hear a cat. What was the other thing I was supposed to do? It was like equally bonkers. It was like right on that level. Oh, the other thing was, we were discussing the difference between being extroverted and being an extrovert. And clearly I'm not an extrovert. But also clearly, like, 80% maybe? 1, 2, I don't know where the other 3 are. Perry's way back there. He goes out in the woods up there. He loves it. He'll come back on his own. The girls are probably up at the house because they're like, I can't deal with this. And they turn around and go back. Anyway, yeah, but a lot, like 60%, 80% of the the sort of qualities of a person who is extroverted, I kind of have in a low-key way. Now, I've said for a long time that I'm sure, even though they've never found one, there's nothing saying extrovert, introvert for avoidant personality disorder, and that the worst thing that anybody could be would be an extrovert avoidant personality disorder person with avoidant personality disorder. I'm not an extrovert. I don't know. I thought that was weird too. It's like, guy, how many weird things are you going to throw at me? But yes, I do need to come up with something sustainable as a solid coping technique. And just big, like, non-maladaptive, so I guess it's adaptive, distraction. Because travel, as great as it was, and it will resume, but right now it's a no-go. And I also don't think I'm going to be working so much anymore. For the same reason, because if the people that I'm working for don't have income because they're not working, then obviously they're not going to be hiring me, right? So I'm going to have even more time on my hands, which is weird. But yeah, that's what's going on now. And that's how the virus is affecting me personally. And yeah, and I think that people who maybe are not going to get sick, you still have to cope with everybody else. I mean, that's why, it was a very strange form of self-care to go to the grocery store at 11 o'clock at night and get everything I would need. So that's Poppy and that's Percy. So that I would not have to do any shopping when it was crowded and crazy. That's avoidant self-care. I think you can still do that. Another cat. I hear another cat. I don't know. That's the type of thing I would do. And also, again, looking ahead to give yourself a chance to do avoidant self-care and give yourself a break when it hits you. Oh, there's one on that. Let's see if I can get it. Can't really see. That's Pansy. She's a black and white. Perry's definitely back there. Oh, well, he'll come. Hello. So where's the last one? She's home, huh? So you're here and she's home. So you were waiting for me. That's nice. And you're very talkative. See, my cats will talk to me. I don't need to talk to anybody else. Yeah, give yourself a break. Do whatever you can for self-care. Because things are changing. And even if you don't get sick, other people change, which means you can't do things the same way you've always done them. So, anyway, I should actually probably go back and try to find Perry. I'm going to stop this and go hunt through the woods and see if I can find a cat. Bye.